Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. We made it to video number 3 of our channel and I'm so grateful for your support on the previous content. Honestly, you guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. It means absolutely the world to me to have your support and I love you guys for it. But without further ado, let's get on with this video. Get yourself comfortable, get yourself a drink. I got myself my usual cappuccino and look at this cup. This is so cute. It says easily distracted by books and someone offered this to me last Christmas and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Perfect. So we need to start on with this video and without further ado, let's talk about the perfect guide for cowboy romance. So, if you guys know me by now, you know that I'm obsessed with everything cowboy romance, and I'm not even ashamed to say it. I'm obsessed with every single story that I read. I'm obsessed with every single characters, and I don't know why. I just think cowboy romance it's such a good trope, and I don't know. I just love it. I absolutely love every single book that I read in this section, and I think the right way to start this video is to address the biggest author in this kind of genre. So we are obviously talking about Elsie Silver. So if you don't know her, she's one of the biggest author in the romance world in the book talk community. However, her expertise, I believe, are more directed to cowboy romance. So she has currently 3 main series. 2 of them are directly cowboy romance. The other one appears bits here and there, but not massively a cowboy romance. However, out of the 4 books, you can take out probably 2 or 3 that are more cowboy romance related. And these series are Chestnut Springs, Gold Rush Ranch series, and you have Rose Hill series. And we are talking about the Chestnut Springs series. This is a series of 5 books, and if you don't want any spoilers or to know anything about what happens in the series, just move a few seconds ahead. So this series revolves of 5 brothers, one of them not really being their blood relative, but it's still part of the family, and each one of them is a story about the brother and how they found love, and it just revolves around the same farm and the same ranch. Elsie Silver has this power to put together funny moments, meaningful moments, put it all together, and somehow heartbreak happens in the middle. And I don't know how she does it. I just know that her writing is absolutely amazing. It's super fluid, super easy to read, but at the same time, you can see there's a lot of meaning behind the words of the characters. You also see a huge character growth, which I absolutely love in any kind of romance. There's also very particular characters in the stories. You also have, I think this is a favorite in like the whole book talk community, which is the dad of this family. I just think that character is the funniest character I've ever encountered in all the 100 and something books that I've ever read in this last few years. I recommended this series to so many people, and especially the second book in the series. And honestly, it's to this day is my favorite book of all time in the romance section. Honestly, so it's just so special. However, you have several type of romances in here. You have second chances. You have a single dad romance. You have childhood lovers or childhood friends. You have some enemies to lovers. In these 5 books, you get kind of every single aspect of romance book, and that's really good, and that's my favorite thing about the series. So if you ask me, do I recommend this series? I absolutely do. I'm pretty sure I gave 5 stars to every single book except the last one, but it's still very important. Even though the 2 books that actually there are 2 they are not blood relative to the main brothers of the series, they all a big family, so they all kind of relate, which makes it very easy to spot the characters from other books in the book that you are now reading, and then kind of seeing the growth and how their story develops along the journey, which is really funny and really good. I absolutely love that. And overall, I give this series a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love it. And if you are interested in starting in a cowboy romance, again, I recommend this to you because it's so light, so fun. It does have some heartbreak, I'm not gonna lie, I did cry in some books, but it's still the most perfect series to start on a cowboy romance. So there's the same author, you have the Golden Rush Range series, which is kind of spin-off of the one of the characters and kind of becomes a special series, and I absolutely loved it. Read that series in second place after reading Chestnut Springs, and I absolutely loved it. It's a bit different. I'm not gonna lie, it's not as fun and as light as the first series. I do prefer Chestnut Springs just for that. However, it's still a very intense 4 book series of cowboy romance. It happens. So again, if you don't want any spoilers, just move a few seconds ahead. So in this series, it's 4 books, and this is kind of found family kind of ranch. So one of the characters is the sister of those brothers that it's appear in the first series, and she kind of moves to another part of the country, and she finds this ranch where she's working, and she finds this kind of family and friends, and she builds her own life there. So then for each book you have the story of one of her each of her friends, which are and brothers and sisters, which are the main characters of that ranch and of that series. I gave 5 stars to every single one of them except the first one, which I think I gave 4.5 stars if I'm not mistaken. But just go into my Goodreads and see what I wrote there. I absolutely love this series. It's a series a lot more intense than the first one, in my opinion. I think, like, because on the first series you have Harvey that brings a lot of like laughter and funny moments to the series. In this case, it goes deeper into very personal problems, and that kind of becomes very, very, very heavy and very heartbreaking at times. That's why I felt I cried more times in this series than I did in the other one. But again, I'm a crier, so I cry for so many dumb reasons. I found that in this series she went into more in depth, so it became kind of a more intense and dense writing, not in a bad way. I think it just comes with the story and the kind of struggles they go through and how the plot happens, but it becomes more intense by the book, and it became more intense than the previous series. I still absolutely love it, and I would recommend it 100%. So I read it in this order. You don't have to. So I know people that read like this one first and then the Chestnut Spring series in second. You do it however you like because they're all interconnected but standalones and different series. So it's honestly, it's however you like it, and I absolutely love that you can just be in the same universe and read different stories in different times or in however time you choose, and that's really, really special for me. Then, speaking about her latest series, we have Rose Hill series. This is a series of 4 books, and I just finished recently the last one of the series too. While the other 2 happen in ranches, this one just happens in a small town. 3 of them have a directly contact with farms and ranches, and it's everything that kind of brings the cowboy side to these kind of romances. However, one of them is just not related at all. In these 4 books, you follow the lives of these 4 dads, and it's their story of falling in love and finding themselves, basically. I absolutely love every single one of them. I gave perfect ratings for every single one. However, my favorite would be the second one, which is Wild Eyes. I absolutely love that book, and to this day, it's still one. It's my third. Yeah, it's my third um, single dad. My third, my favorite third. It's basically this was so bad. So basically, it's still on my top 3 of most loved single dad romances. So, so that's my favorite. Her writing in this one, I found a huge difference between her writing in the other 2 series and this one. I found that in this um, series, she found like a more simplistic, more direct, and straightforward way of writing. which kind of helps you with the multi-layered characters that they are the dad. So some of them struggle with being a new dad, some of them struggle with finding this new child, and the others simply struggle with living as a dad and losing their personality in between taking care of children and everything that happens in life. And I think in her writing this time, she found a new way of us, like, um learning about the layers of the characters. So they change and grow really, really well. I think it's one of the series that you just see so much of a character development and growth, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that in the series. It's probably my best praise I could give to this series, just the character development and growth. And it's just become special because of that. I still absolutely recommend them. I still absolutely love these books to the core. And they are still on my top 3 series of romances. So if you are looking into something kind of give dipping a little bit into cowboy romance, but not completely, you can also start with this series. It's a great option, and it gives you kind of an idea of how to go and to see kind of little parts of being a cowboy romance, and parts of being just a normal single dad romance. So if you just like this kind of content, I would say absolutely go for it. It's absolutely perfect. And again, you don't have to read them in any specific order. You can just read them in however you like. Just if you want to start with this series or if you want to start with the other two, it doesn't matter. You read how you like them because they are just standalones in the same universe. So just they interconnect. And that's really good because then you can have like little insights of the other stories and you can see for which one you want to start. Talking about next, the series that it was one of my most recent discoveries. So I kind of found the series and I did not read it in order. So this is kind of an example that you don't have to read the books when there are standalones, interconnected standalones basically. You don't have to read them in order from what the author writes or what they are sold by. Just you can read them however you like. I read them in a different order just because they were not available in the bookstore that I usually buy my books, and it made no difference. I still absolutely enjoyed the series, and it's still one of my favorite series of all time in cowboy romance. I was really surprised. So this is the Silver Pines series by Paisley Hope, and if you don't want to know anything about the books, just move a few seconds ahead. So this is a 3-book series, and unfortunately I did not read them in order. I read the second book and then I went back, got the third book, and I started to read the third book, but then I got the first book, so I started reading the first book and then got to the third. So was kind of a mix. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a mix. It got me a little bit confused, not because of the order that I read, but because I started reading one and then I got the first one, so I stopped what I was reading and went back to the first. So I kind of mixed a little bit the stories. However, they were still really good. Still absolutely love them. My favorite in the series is the last one, which is Riding the High. Again, it's a single it's a single dad cowboy romance. So it was a yes for me on every single account. I absolutely love it. It's another thing that just does it for me. Single dad romances are for me the best romances out there. But again, it's just my personal opinion, not the popular opinion. But I absolutely loved it. It's still one of my favorite top 3 favorite single dad books I've ever read. I absolutely loved it. And this series, these 3 books, follow the story of a family, and there's 2 brothers and 1 sister, so these 3 siblings. And the first book, I read it and I found it so funny, to like Elsie Silver level of funny with Harvey. The 3 of them were such good summer reads that I would absolutely recommend. The series is really good. Her writing, it's a very flowery writing, but not in a dense way, like in a lush and funny kind of way. Very easy to read, very flowy to read. Um, I find that her writing was very simple, and that helped, even though it was very flowery as in the adjectives that she used, how she described things. It was very flowery in that way. However, the words that she used were simple and easy to put together and to read. So it's a very odd way to explain, like flowery, but at the same time simple. but it is true. It was a simple writing, very easy to read, very easy to go through the whole book. The characters have not a massive development, except in book two. I think in book two the characters grow so much, and there's a huge difference between the other two books. But other than that, the growth is very steady paced, I think, and it's really funny because you get to see the other characters in the three books, and you can see huge developments in the relationship in each book, and that's really really good. I also found out the characters are overall very funny, every single one of them except the main male character in book two. He's the grumpy one, but other than that, in the whole family, everyone else is really funny, especially the female main character in book three. Absolutely love her. Absolutely love her. Like, it was so funny, so funny. Um, and she appears in the first page of book one, and literally on the first chapter of book one, I cried and I laughed at the same time. That's how good it was. So it was funny to read. And if you are looking into, if you don't want to start with the big names of cowboy romance, but you want to start in something really funny, I absolutely recommend this book. So for me, there are 4.5 or out of stars out of 5 in overall as in a series. So really, really good. I absolutely loved it. Last but not least, we move on to my most recent acquirement in the book kind of romance, cowboy romance series. So this series I very recently discovered. I literally read the books right before fall came in, and I don't know, I just kind of didn't know about. However, out of nowhere, they become a big name in the book talk community, and I was intrigued. And not only because like they became popular so quick, but because they were quite small and easy to read, and the titles were extremely catching. Like, they're like sayings but a little bit twisted in some words or some letters, and I absolutely loved it. I looked at it and I was like, that's so clever. It's like being able to write that and think about that. That's so clever. I wish I could, but I'm just a girly. Sorry. I'm talking about the Wales Ranch series written by Bailey Hanna. So this series is a 3-book series at the moment. Again, the 4th book is coming out, and all of them have so catching titles, and it's extraordinary, really. So I read the books. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not finish the series yet, but I do have a formed opinion. And the first one that I read, I was really impressed with the story. I'm not gonna lie. The story, if you don't want any spoilers, just move a few seconds ahead. But her story is that she suffers of complicated relationship, let's put it, and she struggles to live with that, and she just one day runs away from that abusive relationship, and she had this friend online that she offered support, and she just grabbed her bags and left. She was really scared when she got there, and from my point of view, this ranch is like a safe haven, and I loved it when I realized that no one was going to ask any question, that she was going to be accepted. I absolutely loved it. I thought this is going to be top tier, and it is going to be better than everything I've ever read in the cowboy romance section, and I loved it. The story was there, the characters were there, the development and the growth is amazing. Her writing, very light, fast paced, very funny, very meaningful in the moment, in a very particular moments, and kind of you can see the writing changing in the moments. And I've never read that before. For like, she very funny writing, very simple, very light, and then on specific parts of the story that they need to be meaningful, it's kind of like her writing gets more dense and more intense, and then the moment finishes and the writing goes back to very fast paced and funny and I don't know, light and simplistic, and I loved it. However, in my opinion, and remember guys, this is just my opinion, I think the books are too short, which is good because you finish them very quickly and you it lasts in 1 to 2 days more or less each book. However, I find them very small, and I felt like I needed more from the story, I guess. I needed more from the characters. I wanted to know more about the characters from like parts of their lives. I wanted to know more about the story. I wanted to know more about the romance. I wanted to know more. And maybe that's her style. Like, give you little bits that you can get attached to, because I did get attached to the stories. They were very deep stories. I'm not gonna lie, I love them, but I just needed more. And that's why for me it's not a 5-star series. I would give it between 4 and 4.5, depending how the last book is gonna go. The plot was predictable, but I was not even upset about that, because with that kind of story, I was not upset that it was predictable. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting it, and I thought it was still, even though it was fast paced in the action, the romance wise was a slow burn, and I loved it. Like mixing fast paced action and happening, and I don't know, events in the story, but a slow burn, and you mix it together. It's really good, and not every author can do that. So I was really impressed by her and how it turned out, and I loved it. It was just the thing that I felt like I needed more. But overall, very good series. Honestly, I would 100% recommend. This is all I think about the most popular, I would say, cowboy romances, really. It's just that. It's my opinion. This is the most known cowboy romances in the book talk community. But if you have absolutely any recommendations, please let me know. Just drop them in a comment down below. I'm happy to reply, and I'm happy to add them to my TBR list, which is absolutely horrendous and absolutely huge, and I will never see the end of it. However, I absolutely love to interact with you guys. So if you have any opinions, any recommendations, just let me know. If you have any ideas for the fourth and next video on our channel, also let me know, because sometimes I struggle to come up with ideas. I think these 3 ones for the first 3 videos are really good, and I think maybe next video it's going to be a wrap up of October, and just preparing to November and the readings in November, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you have any ideas, just drop them in a comment down below. And if you are interested in seeing my book reviews and my book content, just go and take a look at my TikTok account. But if you want to see anything personal life related and how my life is going, just take a look at my Instagram account. And basically both of them are just social media about myself. So just however you like it. If you want to take a look at my Goodreads and my book, more in-depth book reviews, just take a look at my Goodreads. Also, don't forget to check my Fable. I do have a book nook in there, just like I have here with you guys. And I post there daily, and you can see how we're thinking about the books, how am I feeling about them, and just I post there daily, so you can just take a look. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe my channel if you like this kind of content. It's been amazing these first few videos and engaging with you guys. You are absolutely amazing, and I love every single one of you. It means so much when you like my content, and absolutely, I didn't know how much I would love to do this video. But if you have any other questions, or if you need anything from me, just drop them in the comment down below. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.